right, Coach, give us an opening statement about this week's game at Southeastern.
Yeah, tough loss on the road against a really good opponent. Really proud of our players and the way they battled. Went out there a little shorthanded and didn't skip a beat. Really pleased the way some guys stepped up and played. Guys, gave it everything they had, left it all on the field. I thought played a really clean game, very evenly matched game. Stat-wise and just two good teams battling it out, and somebody had to make plays to win the game, and they made one more play than we did and beat us by one. It's tough. It's a heartbreaker for our players, but again, just really pleased with their efforts and how they played, and got to turn the page and on the next one. Got a good opponent coming to town with Houston Christian for homecoming, and so got to work to get better this week and find a way to get back in the win column.
And on the note of turning the page, how do you do that as a team just after a tough loss like that?
Well, I talked to him a little bit about that after practice this morning. Who are you? Who are you in terms of the teammate? Who are you as a person? Are you just going to work hard? Are you just going to, study film and practice hard and lift hard when you're winning? Or are you going to do it at all times? And that football emulates life, sports emulate life, and that's. Are you just going to be a good dad when it's easy? Are you just going to be a good husband when things are going good? Are you going to be a good husband, a good dad, and be consistent with your approach to life? And it's the same way as a player, same way as a coach. I mean, we beat ourselves up for 24 hours. Talked about that, looking in the mirror from the head coach, to coordinators, all the way down to guys that were on the bus that didn't even play. Let's all look in the mirror. What could we have done different to make up that 1 point difference? And I think every one of us has some answers there, and that's what we've got to, again, turn the page and work. I've got to be a better head coach. Coordinator's got to be better. That player that was on the bus didn't play. He's got to get better so he can be on the field and play and make a difference. And so I think that's just, we're all competitors, and they're the elite of the elite. They're college football players, and for a reason. And so I think, that's what you do. You turn the page and you grow and you get better.
And as you mentioned, kind of a little short-handed in that game, but the offense still looks sharp, defense still looks sharp. Got a lot of guys, got a lot of reps that probably haven't gotten some this year.
Mm-hmm.
Just what did you kind of see out of those guys stepping in and filling roles?
Yeah, and that's the nature of the beast. Injuries happen. It's not an excuse, and we're not making an excuse. And I think anybody that tries, that's what I told the team again today. Anybody that tries to make that excuse, we didn't win because these guys were hurt. That's an insult to the guys that did play, because guys did step up. We went out there. We left our top receiver, top running back, 3 of our top DBs aren't playing in the game, but guys stepped up, and I thought our running backs did a great job running the football. Receivers caught the ball really well. DBs played hard, did some good things. There's at times we had 3 freshmen out there in the back end, and that's encouraging, for the future, and those guys are getting better. But went out there and went toe-to-toe, and I should have said this in the opening statement. Credit Southeast Louisiana, Coach Selfo and that group. That's a good football team. That's a team that's going to be in the playoffs. That's a team that's got the inside track. They're 3-0 in conference. They sit at the top of the South, and for a reason. And, they've been in the playoffs 4 of the last 5 years, and we went out there, and those guys I just talked about went toe-to-toe, played them squared up. We knew it was going to be a low-possession game. Each team had 8 possessions. Bottom line, that thing came down to, we outscored them. We scored 5 times, they scored 4 times. But unfortunately, we scored 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals. They scored 3 touchdowns and a field goal. And so they scored more points than we did. We've got to improve in the red zone, finishing drives in the end zone and playing better red zone defense. But, they had 22 first downs. We had 21. I think they rushed for 18 more yards than we did. We threw for 10 more yards than they did. Average gain per play was 5.1 to 5.1. It's very evenly clean game. 0 turnovers. Neither team turned the ball over, and I think penalties was really close too. I think they had 40 yards in penalties. We had 30-something. So, again, I'm proud of our guys, the effort they put in. They went out there and played a really good, I think, playoff-bound team toe-to-toe and just, came up 1 point short.
So, turn it over to local media.
Yeah, Coach, so speaking of field goals, what went into the decision late to kick that field goal that put you up by 6 rather than going for it?
Yeah, well, that's a great question, and that's what I told the team. I said, down at McNeese, his 4th and 6, from 10 to 13 does you no good. That's why we went for it. Here it was 4th and 3, and we were going for it. Unfortunately, we had a pre-snap penalty, and it backed us up to 4th and 8. And so didn't feel as confident there and kicked the field goal. You know what? Wish I could. That's the one. I'm looking in the mirror saying, you know what, should have taken our chances at 4th and 8. But, it's disappointing, and that's where, we talk about being a team loss, and we own it as coaches, and it's not, the defense gave up a 2-minute drive. They did. We didn't make a play to win it on the 2-minute drive. No interception, no sack, no forced fumble, no 4th down stop. Had opportunities to do that, and we didn't get it done. But it's not on the defense. Offense had a chance to finish the game. 1st down, game's over. We're in victory. Offense didn't get it done. So it's a team loss. Coaches, players, offense, defense, all the above. And so that's one looking in that mirror. I'm like, you coward. Should have gone 4th and 8. Let's go. Let's try to win the game right there. Wish I had that one back.
What's the status of Quaylon Jones?
He's working to get better, working to get back out there. All those guys that are beat up. Our training room is full right now, and our athletic trainers are doing a fantastic job. We've got a great group there, and they're going to get those guys back, ASAP.
And then turning the page, Houston Christian homecoming. So what do you expect from them this week?
Yeah, no, they're a really well coached ball club. They do some good things. They're sitting at 3-2 in FCS play this year. Had a big road win up there against Indiana State. They mopped the floor with McNeese 2 weeks ago. Rushed for 414 yards against those guys. And so, they definitely got our attention. They're going to come in here. They've had an extra week to prepare. They had a bye week before our game. That seems to be a theme this year. So they'll have a great game plan, and we got to turn this thing around in a hurry and be ready. Need a huge crowd, and I expect that. We're having a good year. The guys are working hard. Got a good team, and everybody shows up for homecoming, and hopefully we show up as well and able to play at a high level and get back in the win column.
And how much emphasis goes into the fact that it is homecoming to win for the crowds and everything?
Not a lot. It's great. It's fun, and I tell people this all the time. We've got to play in a few opposing homecomings. Would you rather play in front of an empty stadium or full one? And so that's what's neat about homecoming is it's a full stadium, and a lot of guys and alums come back. And it's the 1 week they come back, and so that makes the environment more enjoyable and more fun for those guys to play in. But I don't think it has a huge bearing on how we play.
Yeah, Coach, going back to this last Saturday's game, all the losses that you guys have had so far have been these close games. It's not like you guys are getting, blown out the water in any sort of way. So, obviously, against Lamar, able to get the win in a close game, then come back this week. So, what do you think it's going to take to sort of get over the hump in these close matches and turn those close losses into close wins?
Yeah, I think, you saw it two similar weeks back-to-back, Lamar and Southeast, and one game we were able to, close out and finish, and the other one we weren't. And so that's just learning how to finishing drives. It's not just at the end of the game, but it's back to we scored 5 times, but 3 or more field goals. Got to finish those drives in the end zone. Put teams away when you have a chance. And so, I do think our body of work, as I told the guys, it's a 12-week season. The only thing that matters is the next week. But in terms of looking at, we're still in position. To continue playing if we handle our business week in, week out. And I think with a 12-week season, 3 losses you're in, 4 losses you're up to the committee and everything. So, what we've done by not finishing this past week, not making that play, is you've, reduced your margin of error. And so that's where this game is a big game, and they're all big. And so it's going to be interesting to see how we respond and what we're made of and who's going to sulk and pout and feel sorry for themselves, this, that, and the other, or are you going to be consistently getting better each day, each practice, each meeting, and that's what we'll find out.
All right, Coach. Big game this weekend. Houston Christian at home, Homer Bryce Stadium, 6 p.m. for homecoming. We'll see you there. Thank you.
Come on out and support the Jacks. Axe 'em.